Ene gisem ni say Taptap Send see yenfa sadere we emma won customers ni titru ene won wo UK say obetimi a create wo Taptap Send wallet no e wo app no eso se ekoba ne se Taptap rate no ekostra obetimi a save ska akodu impempenso bi te say 50,000 Ghana cedis ane 50,000 Ghana cedis na afei wo yin kakra se oba on Ghana mu a obetimi a save ska ewo Taptap Send wallet na so abra unya ohaw bia na tie Taptap Send atre wo mahyimu akodru UAE Netherlands and Austria Taptap Send na easy fast and secure Taptap Send papa no
Funding wallets on Taptap Send. Step 1. Click on Create Ghana Cedi Wallet below when you open the app. Step 2. Enter amount of your choice in Ghana Cedis. Step 3. Click on the Confirm and Fund wallet below to confirm. Step 4. Your wallet has been successfully funded. Step 5. Enter amount of your choice in Ghana Cedis. Step 6. Select or add new recipient. Step 7. Choose wallet as payment method. Step 8. Click on the Pay with Wallet below to confirm. Step 9. Your transaction is successful.
Massive cash out with Aviator on Parimatch. Charlie, visit parimatch.com.gh now and enjoy showdown odds and amazing offers on your favorite sports, jackpot and casino game. Play with Parimatch and get up to 500% Pari Boost bonus to win big like a boss. Parimatch, the game is yours. This investment is vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Gaming can be addictive.
It is another week. We are back to the studio. We are back to the matter open and close. And we just have work to do. And you know, when we have work to do like this, we sit down to do the necessary. I know so many people are getting to understand the language. So many people are getting to understand exactly the purpose of this particular platform and some of the things we do. Now, let me tell you how I got to know this. After a report came out that Shatta Wale's Connect album was missing on YouTube, I saw several comments online. One of them that caught my attention was a comment from some people that read like, okay, you guys all should wait. Sammy Flex, okay, no, this is how he put it. Say, you guys all should wait. When Sammy Flex finds his dark shades and his 2 wristwatches, he would come back to explain. Then when Sammy Flex finds his dark shades and his 2 wristwatches, he would come back to explain. And indeed, Sammy Flex found the dark shades and the 2 wristwatches and he explained. And I want to believe that after the explanation, you guys have taken what is good in there. Now, one important thing is also that now that you guys know where the correct and authentic information from the Shatta movement camp comes from, nobody should be deceived again in the world. And I'm not saying Ghana. I'm saying the world because we operate online where the world can reach us. So that comment, whether the person meant good or bad, I saw something positive out of it. And I want to believe that as much as you guys know exactly where you're going to get the right source of information when it comes to Shatta movement empire, nobody will be deceived in the world again. Nobody will sit on any platform to say anything, and until we authenticate whatever the person is saying, you guys should know it is a lie. So that guy who made that comment, if you come across this video, know that I appreciate you. I'm grateful. Tell the world that anything that happens in the Shatta movement camp, as much as we live, as much as I live, as much as this platform exists, until you hear it from here, with my dark shades on and my 2 wristwatches, ignore. They are lies. Or even if you want to know the real stuff or the real happening, wait for us on this platform. you surely come back to explain things to you, and that's how I want you guys to continue with the culture. Once again, welcome to our world of editorials. My name is Sammy Flex, doing this with my team, Digital Rasta, who is doing our camera for us. And he's also called Currency. Richie Flex is the editor-director of the show. And as usual, we are on an agenda to change the narratives, the negative narratives, only to the positives. That is the agenda we are on. It is either you are with us or you are far, far away from us. Again, let's say thanks to Taptap Send. They are holding us down any day. So if you live abroad, you want to send money from abroad to Ghana, remember Taptap Send does it better. And again, the wallet is for you. The Taptap Send wallet is for you. You can still save money on there. And I think there are some videos that my director, producer will be sharing with you guys, so you guys know how to get the Taptap Send going for you. And parimatch.com or parimatch, if you want to win some more money from any of these betting apps, one that has been introduced freshly onto the market here in Ghana is parimatch.com or parimatchbet. Go there today, download the app today, and use the promo code SAM, and you are good. Now, Taptap Send promo code is SammyFlexTV. You guys have extra money into your wallet, and you are good. Now, all Ghanaians should clap for themselves. I'm a Ghanaian, so I'm also clapping for myself. And I'm saying clap for yourselves because of the just ended All African Games that we hosted here in Ghana. It came with some good. Obviously, there were some minuses that we also observed. And I pray that moving forward, when we have to do some of these things, whatever we saw as a minus in the previous event, we will look forward to correct them. That notwithstanding, we are humans. And as humans, there are so many things that we are likely not to get 100%. If you understand this, I'm not sure you'd be having issues with people forever. As human beings, there are so many things that we will get wrong, and as we learn, we correct them. That is why I'm saying that despite all the achievements we made with the All African Games here in Ghana, the wins and the losses, the medals and the losses, and all these things put together, there are some opportunities that we can still benefit from moving forward. And I pray that the next opportunity that we will get, we will know how to grab them or how to maximize the benefits and the profits in there, so the individual citizens can also enjoy or benefit from them fully. Now, that aside, once again, let's commend the organizers for their selection of artists to perform during the opening and the closing. I want to believe they were very strategic on whoever they picked to perform. At least in Ghana, we had Shatta Wale performing, we had King Promise performing, Ebo Taylor, Pat Thomas, Stoneboy, as well as Riala. All these 6 artists brought their A game on the stage. And after the closing ceremony, after the last performances, I've realized that when you go online, several conversations are happening. I've realized that when you go online, so many people are saying this and that. And I said, well, as much as people might not even know exactly what every other team is looking for, sometimes we are even likely to judge someone's objectives to another one's objectives, which is far away from it. The fact that Team A is looking forward for something does not mean that same thing Team B would also be looking for it. People don't know this. And it takes some people like us to come forward, to educate, to spread the message that don't see it like that, like Shatta Wale will say. If you see him like that, you go get him like that. Don't see him like that. Now, after everything is said and done, from the camp of SM, I have observed some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points that I would want to share with you. And these points are very important to the camp. These points are very necessary to the camp. Reason I felt, despite the noise, everybody is saying this and that, to us, what do we also see? Or as the manager of the camp, what do I also see? And that is what I want to share with you. Number 1, the brand Shatta Wale alone is so powerful, is so strong. The brand Shatta Wale alone like some people will say, a lone ranger, but the impact that it comes with is so marvelous. The impact that it goes with is so marvelous. As it stands now, among all the other artists who performed, he was the only one whose image alone did it. He was the only one whose presence alone did it. He was the only one whose performance alone did it. And why am I saying this? Most of these people were supported by something or the other. Most of these performers, they were supported by something or the other. But in the case of Shatta Wale, he did it alone. As the organizers wanted it, like I said in my previous video, the organizers knew his strength. They knew what he can bring on the table. That's why they did not want so many things to be around him. That's why even when we requested or when we suggested that we do it this way, we do it that way with choreographers and other things, they said no. They want the spotlight to be on him because they know exactly what they wanted to achieve with him. And that alone gives me that confidence that with him, whether he is backed by dancers, whether he is backed by whatever, give him the stage and put him there alone. And the impact you are looking for, you will still get it. That's why sometimes when we are going to some of these events in the towns and the cities, I keep telling the organizers that if you have Shatta Wale, you don't have to stress again to go look for more artists so your cost will grow up. No. As much as you have him, he's a handful. As much as you have him, he's a full load. As much as you have him, he is everything you need. And he proved that on the AAG platform, that's the All African Games platform, that yes, he stands alone and he can always do it alone. We all saw it. So once again, the name Shatta Wale needs to be respected. After so many years of doing it, he still comes with the strength that people who come together, who come with other support, they will still not get it. He alone does it and he does it beautifully. That is point one. Now let's go to point two. I watched the performance of the closing ceremony. I watched the performance of the opening ceremony and I realized that to us as Shatta Movement Camp, our setting came out very different. Our setting came out very, very different. Now, to those who watched the closing ceremony, personally, because of where I was not watching with sound because there were some meetings ongoing and we had our television on and we could see what was happening. There was one thing that was clear, that if you don't pay critical attention to the lead singers, especially their costume, you wouldn't know that there was a different set happening. You wouldn't know. Because the performances were such that it was one after the like, when you are done, another person comes. When you are done, another person comes. It was that kind of performance. So if you were not careful, you wouldn't notice that, oh, the next set is gone for another set to come in, because almost all the performers had the same setting of a sort, where there were choreographers or dancers behind the artist. There were some on that level, the first level of the LED screens, and I think another level like that. It was like that throughout all the performances. So the guys from Congo, it was like that throughout all their performances. And when I watched that performance, and I watched Shatta Wale's performance where he was alone having his costume on, I realized the difference we brought on. And I realized that, and I also respect the fact that during the opening, why the organizers did not want us to do some things, that was going to let the stage be the same thing. See, sometimes if you don't pay attention to details, you're likely to miss so many things. The organizers did not want us to do what everybody was going to do, so we come with some difference. I'm sure, I want to believe maybe some of these people who performed at the closing ceremony, maybe they wanted some of these things to have happened. But, of course, nobody wants to be talked about in that light. So, oh, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. Well, to us, we judged, negotiated, discussed everything with the organizers, and as they wanted it, we were ready to deliver. And to us, we gave them exactly what they were looking for. As it stands now, they still send us messages thanking us for that big opening we gave them. So, Shatta Wale alone came with a different setting. Shatta Wale's stage alone, seeing pictures from the other pictures, everything is different. So that is who he is. He has been talking about that all the time. that to him, he's a different artist. And not be like your artist. Oh, you've heard that song before. Shatta Wale is a different artist, and that day he proved that indeed he is a different artist. That is who he is. Now, let's move on to the third point. Do you know sometimes in the minds of some people, they think Shatta Wale is such unruly performer. Shatta Wale is such a person that when he's even about to mount your stage, when you tell him to do this, he will do otherwise. There are some people who even think that, hey, Shatta Wale, when you book him for a show, you can't control how he will behave on the stage. For the first time, the All African Games should tell you, watching, and any other person that he is a listening performer. However you want him to do it for you, that is what he will do. So, I write that Shatta Wale follows rules and regulations when performing. In fact, Shatta Wale knows every stage and the antics that he has to play. I wonder how he does it. Give him a corporate show and he'll come marketing everything you are doing. I've seen that before. When during the Christmas, we performed on some corporate shows like the GT Bank stage at the Accra Sports Stadium. We also performed at the forecourt of the Parliament House. That is the Taste of Ghana. I always call it the light show. That is the crossover show, the one that came with the light, where they did the power display, the LED display, and all those things at the Independence Square. I know how he handled those stages. I know the commentaries that he made on those stages. And then when we went to Kaswa, when we went to Tema, I also know the kind of commentaries he made on those stages. He really follows the rule of the game. So if he has to do it the corporate way, he knows how to play it. If he has to do it the street way, he knows how to do it. And this is just one artist. So when the organizers, I'm sure maybe they might have heard the brand Shatta Wale, how firebrand he is. I'm sure they might have heard that, hey, with him, let him know what he has to do. I'm sure they might have heard that, okay, give him the rules so that he will follow it the way you want it and not what he likes to do. So maybe those came with those so many restrictions. Okay, do it this way, do it that way. And on the day, he proved to the world that tell him what you want as much as there is business between us. Tell him what you want and he will deliver. Don't step here, don't step here, don't jump here, don't jump here. Is there business in what you are telling us? If there is business in there, pronto, you have no problem. Bring it on and we will deliver for you. And I'm sure that is what he did. And yet, some people won't get it. Personally, I'm so happy knowing that the gentleman that I'm working with knows when to do what. If in this world, it is one of the things that is failing so many people. Some people don't know when to do what. Some people, everywhere they get, they want to drink. Some people, everywhere they get, they want to play. Some people, everywhere they want to do some things. But when you know that, oh, this place I can drink, this place I can play, this place I can't do it, this place, it helps you in your life. And that is who Shatta Wale is. He knows when to do everything. He knows when not to do anything. And to me, he has gotten my respect even the more. And I want to commend him for that. Following the rules and regulations of the engagement of the organizers and the production team of the All African Games for the opening ceremony. That was huge. Now, let's move on to the fourth point. The fourth point is simple. Do you know before Shatta Wale performed at the opening, the games had started? Many did not even know this. Yes, before Shatta Wale performed at the opening, the All African Games had started at some various joints already, or various points already. At the Accra Sports Stadium, some of the games had started, table tennis and things. They did one at Boteman or so. Some of these places, the games were ongoing. The swimming and the boxing and other things, some of them had started. But you and I did not even know that the All African Games had started. Alright? Yes, we didn't know. We were seeing their cars running around town. Yes, we were seeing the branded cars and buses running around town. But we all didn't know that it had started. It took one man, one name, to tell the world that indeed something had started on the day, and that was after the performance of Shatta Wale, that the whole world, social media, radio and TV, started discussing the All-African game. That was when people started paying attention to it. It took one name to do that. In fact, it couldn't have been any other person, because we know that some brands, some artists have been called to open some things and they were like nothing happened. They were dead as it came. Some artists have been called to launch some things and we all saw the end. It did not go anywhere. Nobody even heard it. But when Shatta Wale was called to do the opening, of course, the organizers knew his weight. Reason they were part of the planning. And I want to believe that as much as you know the weight of who you are dealing with, you don't even stress. And indeed, he was called and he delivered exactly how he was supposed to deliver. And after, check your timelines. All African games, all African games, all African games. Some sports presenters who had not even posted or had not said anything about the All African games, after Shatta Wale's performance, they all started talking. They all started talking. And to me, being behind him and knowing how the trend works in our industry, I can tell you the weight that Shatta Wale brings on the table. Very huge. Invest in him, do it with him, and you are never going to lose it. Now let's move on to point 5. Full pack, but less commentary after the closing ceremony. Yes, they had a full pack. And let me tell you why the closing ceremony had a full pack. During the opening, the organizers had this motive. And their motive was that because the opening was going to be done with the athletics from all the countries that came, they were given the stands to fill. The athletics, they were given the stands to fill. Because on the day, remember all the countries who represented, they were supposed to come there with their people. And those who watched it, you saw them coming one after the other with their flags, and they were being introduced by the MCs. So on the day, I think the only number of seats that was given to the general public was about just 1,000. So if you could see, there was a space that the people were supposed to be, as in the crowd were supposed to be. The rest of the seats were all supposed to be for the athletes who were performing. They even put out ticket lines that if you want to buy a ticket to come see the event, you could buy it. We saw prices like 300 cedis, 500 cedis, and 150 cedis being regular. We saw all them prices. But any other person who tried to go purchase, you go online, they tell you the tickets are sold out. Even Dan Kokuyebua of Peace FM, who speaks for the LOC, made a commentary on that when he had an interview with Joy FN. He said that they don't know what happened. There were people who were going online to get a ticket, but as to how anytime they make any attempt to purchase, they get tickets sold out, he did not understand. So it was like that. Yet, the half-empty stadium that we even performed to, we saw the commentaries that came after. We saw the hype, we saw the discussions that came after. Now, knowing that the people did not want to close the whole organization or the whole tournament with another half-empty stadium, on the day of the closing ceremony, they decided to make it free and they announced the freedom. Brought in students. I have seen a video of someone complaining bitterly that he came there with some adults wanting to enter to go see the closing ceremony, but because they were only permitting students to enter, they did not get a chance to see it, and that is fine. So they knew that if they don't open it up free, they are not going to get the impact they are looking for. They knew that if they don't make it available to the general public ASAP. In fact, right after, I'm sure even Dan Kokuyebua mentioned it in the interview that right after the opening that they realized that the ticket sales were messing up, they made everything even free from there. So that any of the games, whoever would want to go and watch something, just go to the stadium, the Legon Stadium, and just go and watch freely. So on the day of the closing, it was like that. Open wide and afar for everybody to go enjoy. Therefore, they had a full house. But even with that, I can tell you, right after the full house, the commentaries, there hasn't been any conversation that Shatta Wale was not part. all the people who performed, the Realize, the Stone Boys, and any other person who performed, there hasn't been any commentary without Shatta Wale's involvement. It tells you who he is. Performs to a half-empty stadium, gets all the attention. Other people perform to a full stadium, yet he's still getting the attention. Think, and you get to know exactly what we are talking about. Now, the appearances of the performers. I think I've seen Riala. Riala always comes different. Riala always look different. But apart from that, if there's one guy who brought a unique appearance on the show, I'm sure we will give it to Shatta Wale. The fact that some people were even surprised that, hey, so this is Shatta Wale. They were shocked. I watched a video someone recorded from the stands. And the background noise, a lady saying, she's not even sure that it's Shatta Wale. Like, is that Shatta Wale? Can Shatta Wale look like this? They were all surprised. They were even surprised with how calm he performed all the 3 songs that were chosen for the 4 minutes performance. Because to them, they know Shatta Wale, the energy god, who will be jumping left, right, and center based on what he's supposed to do. But this time around, a calm Shatta Wale delivering his lines and paying attention to details and doing exactly what organizers would want to have so that their opening ceremony would not mess up. And that was how unique it was. I believe you guys might have seen some of these photos and videos around, and it is clear. Uniquely branded. So beautiful, so nice, and everybody loved it. Now, the final thing I would want to talk about is the cash. To us, as much as the performance was just 4 minutes, it is one of the most profitable ventures that we've invested in. Yes, I think I've mentioned it before. And I can mention it again here, again and again. 4 minutes performance, yet the results in terms of financial results, the benefit in terms of financial benefits, they far outweigh so many things that some people have done and so many things that we have even done ourselves. So if every month we get a 4 minute show like this, which will not even make Shatta Wale sweat, and we're going to make this amount of money, why not? May God pray, we pray that God will bring some more like this. So that even after, we keep you guys busy and talking, increasing our value in the ecosystem as well. Because if there is one artist who brings the talkability, if I have any investment to do, I'll surely invest in that artist. So, in all, everything said and done, with all the noise, with all the comparison here and there, with all the this and that, to us, the 4 minutes given on that stage has been more profitable to us than any other thing. So the talkings, the left, right, and center being said here and there, we encourage that you guys pay attention to the details instead of just the talking. We know how Shatta does it. We know what his performance stands for. We know how he's not even used to, or he's not someone who is known to be performing with choreographers and dancers behind him, because I'm sure they'll even be crossing him. Because when he's performing, the way he goes up and down, you cross him. Don't come and disturb his moves. When he's doing his damn moves on the stage, don't come and disturb him. And of course, we know how he would want to do his playback, so he can churn out that energy that he wants to do to the people. And yet, you still get some people who will not pay attention to the details and yet would fancy the talking keke. The 4 minutes to end it was so beautiful. And we pray that more opportunities like that will come our way. We will not say much. Let's end it here. To me, these are some of the benefits that I see from the performance, the closing and the opening of the All-African Games from our camp. I see some good things. I pray that everyone who participated would also get to see their own importance as well. I pray that to the fans who supported us, you guys will continue to support us, and to the media people who made our performance even louder than those who had 10 minutes and 15 minutes, who made our 4 minutes performance louder than those who had 10 minutes and 4 minutes. We are still grateful. Continue doing our works for us. When it is time for payday, you guys will all be remembered. My name is Sammy Flex. Let me say thanks to you. If it is your first time watching, subscribe to us And you can also feel free to drop your comments as well. Meanwhile, let me say thanks to my people who supported the production. Digital Rasta, his God Currency, who did our camera for us. Richie Flex is the editor-director of the show. And to your, for information, if you've not subscribed to us, please do, and let's do some more. Thanks to Taptap Send, as well as parimatch.com for doing it beautifully with us. Stay tuned for more videos from Sammy Flex TV. Until then, see you in our next video. Bye-bye.